All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your girl, Vibe with Juno. You already know we are starting the weekend off right. I upload every Monday and Friday, giving my unsolicited commentary on the latest TV shows and movies. Tonight, we're going in with the number one movie on Netflix, Persuasion. This movie is based on the Jane Austen novel with the same title. You already know I'm dropping spoilers all through this video, so if you have not seen it, go and watch and come on back to hear the rest of my commentary. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when I upload next. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So, I had really high hopes for Persuasion. I thought that it was going to give me Pride and Prejudice. I thought that it was going to give me Sense and Sensibility. I thought it was going to give me Emma. And to some extent, it gave Emma and with the comedic sense of things. If you don't know any of those titles, those are also novels and movies that are from the Jane Austen collection. She is known for her love and passionate novels, and those are just some of the titles, just to name a few. There's plenty, plenty more. I highly recommend that you read the books because we all know that the books are so much better than the movies. But with all that being said, I was extremely excited that Persuasion was going to become a movie. And I thought that it was going to give me Bridgerton. If you watch Bridgerton, then you know it gives very passionate feels throughout the whole entire season. It's full of drama, all of those things. So I was hoping for that, but I must say that I was let down. I feel like they rushed this movie and rushed through a lot of the details. Like I said, the book is way better. But going into it, Anne is the main character of this. The whole movie is centered around Anne and her heartbreak. She is forced basically to break up with the love of her life, Captain Frederick Wentworth, because at the time that they were dating, he didn't have a title and he did not have money. He was poor. And so back in that time, women's worth was tied into who they married. So you wanted to try to marry as best as you possibly could so that you could have you could live a well comfortable lifestyle. Your kids would be well provided for, and you wouldn't have things to worry about financially. So he didn't offer her any of those things. So she was persuaded by her godmother to give him up. And this whole entire time, y'all, it's been 8 years. Through these 8 years, she has been heartbroken. She hasn't dated, she hasn't talked to anybody else. She's just been lonely. She helps out with her sisters, which we'll get into in a second. But that's the base, the foundation of the movie. That Anne is, heartbroken and she's lonely and she's kind of given up on love in a sense. And that's where we leave it. Her sisters are Elizabeth and Mary. Elizabeth is supposed to be the crown jewel of the family. She's supposed to be the most beautiful daughter, even though I think she looked like a scarecrow. But, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, whatever. And then Mary is a ditz. Like, she's dumb as a box of rocks. And she's a narcissist. She's very much so into herself. And she doesn't really too much care for her kids, kind of just uses her husband, I guess, for what she wants, but he's just kind of like on the shelf. And when she wants him, she goes and gets him. But other than that, it's all about her. So Anne helps out with Mary's kids. When Mary's feeling sick, she goes and tends to her kids. She spends time with them. She plays with them. She's a really good aunt. She's very caring. Throughout the whole movie, people allude to her character as her being an empath. She's just feels what people feel, loves what people love. She's a people person. So, anyway, the story goes on that their father, who is also extremely vain, he runs into money trouble because he has a spending problem. Their mother is also deceased, by the way, so it's just him and the girls. And so he has to basically rent out their house to someone in order to receive income to relieve his debt. And he has to downsize and move into another place. So they decide that they're going to move to Bath, and they also decide that they are going to go ahead and rent their home to an admiral of the Navy. And it just so happens that who comes along with the Admiral? Y'all guessed it, that's right, Captain Frederick Wentworth, aka Anne's Boo, the love of her life. And let me just say this, the whole entire movie, all I can think about is Whitney Houston. I wanna run to you, you. That's all I could think of the whole time. Every time they look at each other, just cue that song of Whitney Houston, I wanna run to you, because he always looks like he can't breathe. She always looks like she done lost her long lost lover. And they play this back and forth game of I want to say something, but I don't know what to say. You say something first. You say that, no, you say something first. But Mary's sister-in-law actually starts to impose on Captain Frederick. So she starts to develop feelings. At first, she wants Anne to talk to him. She doesn't know the full extent of their relationship and what happened or anything like that. And Anne doesn't tell her. So she decides that, she starts to talk to him and she likes him for herself. So here she goes, and she's really into him, like really into him. But he's clearly not that into her. He's into Anne, but he doesn't know what to say. So that is their relationship. The sisters are terrible. It gives Cinderella, they all like the crazy part about it is in the book they say that Elizabeth is extremely beautiful and so is Mary, and that Anne was the least attractive out of the three. But in the movie, I feel like Anne looked better than Elizabeth and Mary. I don't know, but the casting was a little off in that regard. But they allude to the fact that Anne is not attractive, but she was cute in this movie. Mrs. Russell is the godmother of the movie, and she is kind of like Anne's advisor. So she tries to get Anne to dive back in, and she admits that she was wrong for, advising her to give Frederick up in the first place because, well, let me just say this. When he comes back with the Admiral, he's a captain now. So he has a title and he's also wealthy. So he now has all of the things that she needed to have in the first place for them to be together. That I don't know how I would feel if I seen my ex and he was really glowed up like that. I don't know. I'd be in my feelings too, no lie, especially if I hadn't gotten over the breakup. But it's been 8 years, so I feel like she should have been she should have been let it go. But she hasn't. So usher in Sir Elliot. Sir Elliot is the next heir in line to take over their family. Now, the father also has a woman who is interested in him, and throughout his vanity, I guess he sees her, but not really. He's not really into her, but he is leading her on. I guess it's a very weird dynamic. But Sir Elliot is after securing his title. That's his whole goal. It's his whole purpose of being in Bath is to secure the title. He realizes that if the father actually marries this younger woman and has a child, then that would knock him back from taking his rightful place as the heir. He would be knocked back, and the child would have all of the benefits, all of the property, all of the money that he is set to acquire. So he was actually due to marry Elizabeth, but I believe that he wasn't interested in her. So he came back to try to woo Anne. And he was very forthcoming with his intentions. He was shysty, but she actually started to like him. They kind of had the banter of like Daphne and the Duke from Bridgerton. So it was kind of giving that vibe. But I don't know. She would always see Frederick. But rumor had it that Frederick had decided to get engaged to the sister-in-law. And so she was, Anne was extremely heartbroken, but the whole time the girl was engaged to somebody else. And so long story short is that Anne and Frederick end up married together. they end up getting back together and he ends up professing his love for her in the end. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and give this rating a 3.5. Five would be like, oh hell yes, drop what you're doing, leave this video, go watch it right now. Like, why are you still watching this? Rating number one would be like, hell no. Don't watch this at all. Like, I don't recommend at all. 3.5 is like, yeah, you can take it or leave it. Like, I feel like it's a decent love story. You get the gist of what's happening, but I wouldn't say like I highly recommend. But if you watched it, it'd be like, okay, what'd you think? Um, the one thing I will say is that I love the diversity. I absolutely love that period pieces are starting to include a lot of different ethnicities. That is just so refreshing for me to see. Like in Bridgerton, we see that the queen is black. We see that the love interest in season two is South Asian. And it's like the same thing here. We see that black people are of noble birth. They have places in society. There's Asian people in the cast. I'm here for the diversity. I love that. I feel like that was my favorite part of the movie. Second would be the fact that Anne and Frederick get back together and he professes his love. You know how your ex be playing games like they trying to act like, oh, we can just be friends. No, the whole time they want you and you want them. But I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. First, I want you guys to watch it and then let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But also, I want to know, like, how long are you willing to wait for the love of your life to come back? Where you're willing to accept them back into your life. I don't know, y'all. 8 years seems to be like an extremely long time to wait for somebody to come back with the hopes that you guys are going to rekindle things and reconnect. I don't know. It seems way too long. Like, I don't know. But yeah, like let me know. I'm gonna start doing on Fridays, movie night Fridays. I love watching movies. So Fridays will be the movie night and Mondays we'll be doing the TV shows, reviews and the recaps and things like that. So this is the first movie on the movie night on a Friday. I hope this starts your weekend off right. I hope you unwind from work and relax and I hope you enjoy your weekend and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.